Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I go to the PMP2 page, and that gives me my chillers. And when I check them, I kind of, first thing I do is check and see what my temperature is. Now, see, my temperatures are real high right now. So I need to crank up another one. I should be around the 42, I'm 52 right now. And I'm, loaded up to the max right here, so I need to start up another chiller. So I'm going to start up chiller 6. And what I do look at the loads on the chillers, which is this point right here, just to kind of see what kind of load I'm pulling here. I'm pulling 108 just because it's calculated with the SPI water temperature and the return temperature, and it gets BTUs that way. That gives me what my percentage of the load is. Then I check the site and see where I'm at on that. I got 2 chillers going over there. I got 1 and 3. And I checked that. I'm on I'm at 71% on that. Which once I get that other chiller going, that'll actually lower. And then on this part here, I just kind of wait to get that where it starts up, because it takes a while to get started. It just goes up like 10% at a time.
Right.
That's basically here right now. Then I go down there and start checking everything. But I just have to see if anything's an alarm up here. What my SPI temperature is, which I saw was way too high.
Right.
And then when you start one up, you just make sure that the two pumps gets going. Make sure the isolation valve's open, and that this kicks on. The cooling tower. Right now, I won't have no percentage because the water is pretty close to where I want it to be anyway on the temperature. And then once it gets going, then check, make sure that that fan speed picks up too. I guess did you want those emails sent to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it was, I had going to be sent to you, and I think I put Jeff on it, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And I had Will on it.
Right.
Okay.
The Insight is good for until they quit supporting it.
Yeah, which
So
I think
basically
is 2
we
years.
got
2 years.
a couple years away. I know on our DeSego stuff, we don't have pages like this set up currently.
Kevin put one in that's pretty close to it. I told him
Okay.
I went inside there because it's a lot better. So he took this page from Insight and put it into DeSego.
Okay.
And there on that site there, it's stuff much like this, but in the as far as DeSego's a little bit more complicated to try to figure out, as Mark found out.
Yeah, I know. Well, at some point, hopefully we're all going to get better at DeSego as time goes on, but I hope they don't take this away from us to where, because we got this set up pretty nice for just checking the things we need to check,
Yeah, it doesn't take long
and
at all.
turning things on and off.
Yeah. The other one, they put them all together, and you gotta try to find it,
Right.
wonder, and then they don't have the right points.
I thought this morning, that, yesterday what we watched was a scenario where you turned a chiller off and then started one. And I just thought about it. I didn't pay attention to the sequence. Did you start one first and then shut the other one off, or did you shut it off and then?
Well, if I'm going to shut one, shut one off and change chillers, let's say I'm going to change chiller.
Right.
I start up the one I'm going to start up first before I turn off the other
Right.
one. That way, it gives you see how long it takes to start up.
Right.
My water will get a little bit warm if I did that, so I just get that a head start, and as soon as you get up like 20%, you don't notice it until it gets between 20 and 30%. That,
Right.
It's actually runs. So when it gets about 30%, I'll turn off the other chiller.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if I'm just going to start up, I just do it just like I did now.
Sure. That this morning was a little more simple. Now,
Yeah.
I noticed in the winter months you may not pay a whole lot of attention to, but I notice these things are humidity sensitive.
Hmm?
Don't you pay attention to the humidity level a little bit more? I mean, you look at your temperatures, right?
Right, right. And
But-
summertime is
and
when I pick.
That's what I was going to say.
Summer is when I think
Summertime
that, yeah.
may be a better case for the humidity levels, but
Yeah.
when humidity is higher, does that make you decide I need another chiller or not,
Regardless-
based off of the temperature, or is it?
See, humidity affects it, but you still do it the same way. You just go there and see what your loads are.
Okay.
You basically go by that. Now, during summertime, I keep my chillers at the same set point, which is like 42, sometimes 40 degrees.
Right.
And then what it does has a common header that the water mixes, from the return to the supply.
Right.
And during the summer, I try to keep that, around 42 degrees coming out.
Okay.
Now, when winter comes here, my max water will be about 44, 45, which is good for winter because you don't need that much cooling and you don't need the dehumidifier. Because if you're at 50-something degrees, 100% humidity, by the time you get to 70 degrees, you're down to about 55 degrees.
Right. Okay.
I mean, 55% humidity, sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's still just a load condition, but humidity will affect it almost as much as temperature. Load
More
wise.
so.
Yeah,
So.
Right. Okay.
Because you got to think about it. On these air handlers, when you're dehumidifying, you're going 100% cooling, and then you're using heat.
Right.
So that uses a lot more than temperature.
Yeah. So now when these settle out and you get your percentage of load where you want it, then you're going to kind of walk through how to balance out your pressures between the two plants,
Mhm.
hopefully.
Well, I might have to
Are
start, I might have to start another one. I want to see if I do because
Sure.
right now I'm 64 degrees at 99% humidity. Now that humidity does affect me at that temperature.
Right.
It won't be, be as bad as if it was 70-something
Right.
degrees and 100%, but it still affects it. So I'm just going to give it a little time because it takes about 10 minutes to bounce out.
Okay.
And then when I go down and look at the plant, I just basically looking for leaks and then unusual noise and something that might be it's just a visual.
Right.
And then when Mark comes in, he's supposed to be taking the readings.
All right. And he has a log sheet.
Yeah.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. He has one for each chiller.
Okay.
That you're going to turn off. There's not really a whole lot to do, but okay. So these are chiller 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8 are the low pressure chillers, with the 123 refrigerant. And 4 and 7 is the the medium pressure chillers. Like it's a what's that refrigerant that in cars.
134A.
134A is in those. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. 134A. Refrigerant that because Chris takes care of all that. But the difference is these chillers here, when it's real cold outside, you gotta be careful about starting them up, and that's one thing you gotta be careful of, the low pressure ones, because it can suck the oil out of the compressors.
Oh, that ain't good.
So, when it's cold, but the 4 and 7, it likes it cold. So, I kind of try to run one of these here, and that way if I need another chiller to crank up, I'll crank up, 4 or 7, or one of them on the same tower that shares the same tower basin,
Right.
because 1 and 2 has a common header between the two cells there, but they have the same basin. So if I have one of these going, it'd be the water will be warm, and that way it won't be no problem to start up another one. Now 4, 5, and 6, has the same basin, even though 3 separate cells in the tower. And then 7 has one by itself, and 8. But if you're, facing towers from the plant, somehow they switch, they change pipes. So the 8 chiller will be on your left side, the tower will be on the left side.
Right.
And on the right side is the 7, which is just the opposite way it is in the plant.
Okay.
And with the common headers, there's a lot of different things you can do with it if you need to. You can switch, like if you have a bad cooling fan, but you have a good chiller here, you can switch the tower that you're going to. But they kind of messed up a little bit on the program, and I'm getting Siemens straightened it out, because they had it all in one long program, and I told them to separate it, so we'll have all the chillers on its own program. That way, if we have a problem, it'd be
Good idea.
fix it up so that they transfer pretty good. But there's one feature they didn't transfer is being able to switch cells, so they're going to be straightening that out, because that's really important, and especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's any. There's nothing else to say until we get down there and kind of look at it.
Okay. We're done then.
Yeah, we'll be done with that. And something wrong with that programming, because it doesn't seem like that's going up like it should. See, it's going. I think we're going through 70s, 1 to 75, for quite a long time on that load. See, I'm 91 here. Yeah, something's wrong with that. And see, they jumped down to 73%. Chris needs to work on that. This is turnout 1, which is low pressure chiller. And what that if my pressures get way out of whack, there's a pop off right here, and it goes down in here, and you'll see this flooded right in here. That means the pressure's too high. You gotta start another chiller at the solid plant.
Where's it at?
It goes. See that drain right there, and the drain overflows. You can see where it flooded a couple days ago. Okay. And that's how your compression's out of whack. Then look at that big pressure gauge on. I usually look over on E-Root on pressure. Now, if it goes on alarm, you'll see alarm, a little light up here, alarm. That tells you that it's an alarm. Right there, let's go through it and see what happens. It has diagnostics and everything. That's something you got to play with a little bit.
That's like, what was that, telecom, or that old unit over at same display screen on it.
Does it?
Yeah,
Was that train over there too?
yeah.
Yeah, they're probably not the same. This is 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, that's also a low pressure chiller. And the problem with these, they'll get air in it, they'll surge. So if you get a surge, there's a few things that cause that. It'd be like the condensing water temperature got too high, and that causes a surge. If the load gets too low, it'll surge. And if it gets air in it, it'll surge.
You can hear it when it surges.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We come running down from the offices up there. Forward. This is, just a medium pressure chiller. I thought that's what it was. And this is the fancier display and all that stuff. You ever got this doing very well?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's a semi-surge. That's not a heavy surge, but it's just a little bit of a surge. See, that right there is used to get air out of it. It's a dryer. They call it the purge unit, is what it is. That's the old one, that's the new one right up there.
Oh, okay.
That's used to get air out of it. Feels like it's running.
Yeah. Hey, Norm, will it get the air out on its own, or do you have to do something?
You put the unit in what they call same 2-hour purge. I got to put that in my notes for y'all. How to do that. Of course, all the orcs are, 134As. This is 8. And what you gotta do with that one there, it doesn't like storms. So when there's a storm coming, you want to turn 8 off. It blows it, there's something in there in the starter mechanism that when a storm hits it, it's $20,000 immediately.
Oh, yeah.
This is the condenser one right here. This is the chill against the water. And with this one here, you got 6, 5, 4 sharing the same header for that. No gas or water.
That's the isolation valve you're talking about? What is that?
Okay, that's a throttling valve. It throws the amount of water by temperature. Let's see about that. Sometimes that, you have problems with these outside isolation valves more than the inside. They're pain in the butt. The automatic, you can also put them in hand. Sometimes you gotta put them in hand.
Right.
But then when you turn that tiller off and have another one running, you gotta make sure you do it because you have water running through here, but no fan control, so the water gets hot. And then it causes the chillers to, surge. Right here, cross blades is off, and then one in line is on.
So it's off right now.
Right. One is running. Here's the fan running on it.
Yeah.
You hear water going through there. You hear the tower going on this one. I don't know if I hear the tower on this one. Not me. That's what they're thinking. It's good cold, so it must be running like it should. They should be running the same amount of speed because they go by the water temperature that's mixed for each cell.
Okay.
Like I say, you can switch pumps, you can switch cells when when the controls are correct. That's one of the advantages of having the competitors.
So that's 1 and 2. And these are
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Where's 7 and 8? Oh, okay.
That's the trick part. That's 8, and that's 7 over there.
Okay, so the first one's 8 and the other one's 7.
So somewhere on the ground, I guess they switch.
Huh.
Not sure what that was. Weed eater, I guess.
So they got a room under them because they got an exhaust fan?
Yeah, that's where the pumps for them are at.
Okay.
See, here's the condenser pumps for these.
Oh, okay.
And the back one is the emergency one. If one of these goes out, then it turns up that one they're on.
So this is going from inside to here.
Right.
Okay. And this.
Well, actually, yeah, we have. I think about this. Yeah. Through here, it goes up, and it comes through here, and then this pumps it back into the chiller part.
Okay. And Is this
This is in the basin, and that's where it pulls it out.
okay? And this tank here is what puts water, makeup water in the chiller.
Yeah, this is for the makeup water. Yeah.
Does it do all of them or just this one?
It does all 3 of these, and it does those 2 there.
Okay.
I mean, you got basin on there for that 2 right there.
Okay.
Through here, goes through a flow. That keeps the water up the way it should be. Well, so I haven't closed with that. Chris figured out what's going on with it.
I had to come over here and look at it one day.
But I got a spare one, you know.
A float.
Ordered, yeah. So we'll have one. These are like they're easy to clean, stuff like that. And we were thinking real bad and couldn't even move it. And I had SMRs look at it. And I told Chris about it. Chris just took it upon himself to look at it. He cleaned it up and got them working good. Last reason I'm with that spare, which doesn't hurt to have a spare.
No.
Because if that goes out, then you have to try to manually control it by hand. And that's risky. You're going to either overflow it or get too low, and then you short your compressors.
Right.
This thing has the same float.
What about those? Are those inside?
The float's up there, inside's you know, up there in it,
Okay.
and they're better floats. I have had no issues with those. And the pumps underneath it, and
Okay.
the VFD fans are in them too.
Okay.
You know, for that tower fans.
All right.
As far as any maintenance and stuff like that, I always let them do it. I'm going to try to do nothing myself. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you can do, but I think in the past that's one thing that caused a lot of problems. You know, you can try to do a lot of stuff himself, I came to the conclusion that it's better to let them do it. And if there's an issue, they can't point the fingers.
Right. Yep.
I have bromine feeders in here. Mark is supposed to keep, you know, it's keeping it full, but I think National Chemical is supposed to be doing it too. So
Okay.
I can't think of anything else unless you can have any questions about anything. I know the questions that come when you start messing with it.
Yeah.
It usually goes. That's the way it goes for me.
All right.
I try to tell you everything to watch out for, you know, cold weather, how to do it.